Hello, welcome back to a new video. In this video I'm going to be going over what I think you should get first between hype and term in different scenarios and depending on what you want to do. So I'm going to keep this nice, short, simple, so without any further ado, let's go right into it. Okay, so getting right into this. So let me quickly go over the benefits, so I would say, of the term. So starting off, it's much cheaper. That is a massive benefit here. So about 620 mil I have noted down for a non-Master Sword term, which is about a bill less than hype. Of course, the one I'm showing right now is my actual good term and it is a lot more expensive, but you can get a five-starred, Soul Eater 5, Power 6 term, 620 mil. And a drawback is that doesn't include about the 200 to 190 tier 40 mans you'll have to do. And if you don't want to do them yourself, you could buy carries, so that'll be like 190 to 266 mil. So total cost will be about 820 mil, 840 to 820, somewhere around there. And then depending on what hype, you might have to spend more, you might have to spend less. Anyway, so it's still a lot cheaper. Still, even with the carries included, about 600, 700 mil. As well, it is incredibly needed for Kudra. And for random things like magma bosses in the Nether, very useful indeed. It has lots of different uses, like F7 dungeons. It's actually better, I would argue it's better than hype in a lot of dungeon floors, especially F7 and up. But F7 could also be hype mainly. Same with M1, but M2 and up, 100% term is out, is like the best way you can go. And then you could also go for ones like Fatal Tempo. It's almost replacing Soul Eater 5 at this point. Like, don't get me wrong, it's an incredibly expensive book, but it's also very good. Let me just quickly draft over the disadvantage of the term though. So, and I'll just make it quick, short, simple. The main ones, it doesn't do much out of dungeons. Like, it's very good in dungeons, don't get me wrong, but it's good in Kudra, good at stuff like Magma Boss and certain other things, and helpful at times during tier 4 Enderman if you want to get to a higher tier. But overall, it isn't very good outside dungeons. There are very limited uses for it. Like, drags, of course, are good, but if you're only planning on doing dungeons, sure, it's no disadvantages for you. If you're planning on only doing a small bit of dungeons, it might be something you have to take into a big account, to be honest, because it is a big weakness of the term. A little cut in here, please do like, sub, helps a lot, helps me keep motivated, and just generally helps the videos do better. Also join my Discord if you want to. Now let's get back to the video. Right, let me quickly talk to you about benefits of hype and everything it's quite good for. So the same as the term is very good in dungeons, but mainly lower floors. So if you want to do a lot of F5, F6, F7, I know F5 is stupidly easy once you've got a point where you can buy a hype, but F6 they're easy, F7 they're easy, M1 even kind of hard with it, but once you get high enough kata and then past that, it's very good for healing in any of the other floors. Unless you're a tank, then you don't really need term, you can just have one of these. Same slightly with a healer. Healer's good if you have a term. So the other benefits is killing stuff like the Nether bosses. So you have all of them, they're quite easy to kill with it. It might take you 1 or 2 deaths and you'll especially have to get good with it, but you'll be able to kill them pretty quickly. Same with most mobs in general in the Nether. They're very useful to kill and very easy to kill with a hype. So it is definitely something you want to consider. Another main advantage of it is it's very easy to kill tier 4 Enderman. Like, I've got a video on my channel and I can still do easily sub 50 bosses, 50-second bosses with a hype. They're just RCM, nothing hard, nothing special, just nice, easy bosses quickly. You can do it many different ways, you can even do it quicker than that. So if you want in the future, you could get a term, you can get the level through this, you don't even have to buy carries. So that's always another thing you have to think about. And then just in general with it, 1, the fact it can teleport, 2, the damage it does, and 3, the healing. I mentioned on it a little bit a minute ago, but the healing overall, very useful, very good, very powerful. It helps every aspect of the game. Like any aspect of the game where you think, oh, I'm really weak, unless there's something stopping you from using magical powers there, you'll be set with healing. You don't really need to worry about it, at least not massively, because a hype will have you covered. And if you really need, you can change it to a suspicious Scylla, even more healing. Right, the main disadvantage of hype is, of course, the price. If you want a clean one, 690 mil, 700 mil. But if you want one with scrolls, the last time I checked was about a day ago, and it was about 1.5 to 1.6 billion. For all 3 scrolls, that is insane. But once you had the scrolls, the main advantage of the hype is you don't have to spend much on enchants. All Wise 5 and then just some basic tier 5 and tier 6 enchants will do you just fine. You don't need anything special on it. You don't need like a term where you might have a 60 mil, 70 mil enchant. You don't even really need master cells on it because it isn't that good in master mode. Like, mine has one on, or I put one on like that a long time ago. But to be honest, there aren't many disadvantages of a hype. Like, that's the only main one I can think of at the time of making this video. But if there are any, let me know in the comments or let me know in my Discord. You can join that. It takes 5 seconds. If you want to, you can leave it in the future. But let me know in there. I'll add it maybe as a pinned comment to say any of the disadvantages of the hype, because I can't actually think of any others. Right, so I'm just going to quickly show off what a term can do. I'm going to do this and a magma boss. I'll also put a screenshot on what my Soldier 5 term will do, because I'll be using Fatal Tempo for this. I'll quickly also show you my armour for this. It is just Renowned Superior Dragon since I have it. I actually realised I don't have this stored. I should get it stored, because that'll actually help it. And then my talisman are just this, so nothing out of the ordinary. I have a higher magical power than normal. Nothing, and thanks to my guildmate there, if you can see, Eclipse here. They're willing to play so I can demonstrate this. So anyway, let's get right into the track. As you can see in chat, I managed to do just over 8 million damage, and this was with bad accuracy and just overall not being too useful, because I'm not sure if it was me or the lobby was very laggy, and it did start just zooming around for a minute, and got 3 million, a third got 1.6 million. So, and even this without the stars. So, hope that gives you a good idea of how useful they are against dragons. Right, so as I said, I'm going to do a magma boss as well. Just quickly show. This is my armour. It's the crimson, one helmet, my talisman, just a warrior talisman. It's just to give you an example of how good damage this is, and the term of choice for this one is going to be the Fatal Tempo term. So I'll cut back to you when it's about to die. Right, so this is where the term becomes quite hard to use, because of how small it gets. So it is literally just about trying to shoot enough and hoping what someone will hit. In addition, another thing I realised once I was halfway through the boss, a way I can do it quicker is, instead of just having crimson boots, if you had terror boots on, that would be quite good, because currently I am looking this about 4 to 5 minutes, which isn't too bad because I'm on my own. It'll show the damage. Come on, after I kill this last part. This is literally the only downside. There we go. Did most of it myself. I don't believe these people actually attacked whilst I was here. They might have started it a while ago, but since its health has regened, didn't get anything good. But I've got a nice creature key, and I'll show off what the hype can do. Okay, so here's one. The first use one I'm going to be showing for hype is only available once every time this mayor comes into election. However, it is very useful, and I will show you how in just a second when I finally get a mob. Yeah, as you're about to see, hopefully this will spawn a mob. See, just shreds a Minotaur. Oh, and for this Dan, I am just swapping to G-Drag, but that was with a Griffin pet using the hype then, because of course you only can kill the mobs with a Griffin. And hopefully I'll get a champion. Oh, no. But you can see, it's very quick. And this is in 3 pieces, well 2 pieces Storm, Necrotic Wither Goggles, and then Ancient Sorrow Boots. I'm not even in Max Storm. I'm doing the Sorrow for the extra bit of magic find. Yeah. So I hope you can see just how powerful it is in Diana. Right, and the second thing I'm going to be showing you what the hype is useful for is killing E-Man. And only as I've started saying that then, I really quickly clocked how ironic it is, but the point still stands. E-Man is a half decent money making method, especially if you get good at it. As you can see, it's useful for like killing the mobs alone, and then the actual killing the boss. So let me quickly show you. This, I'm 3/4 Necrotic and a Loving chestplate. In Final Destination, just these. And I spawn with sheep and kill V-Drag, so I have quite a good setup for him. I'll show you. I'll show you a little clip when I'm actually killing the boss, and I'll show you the end time. That was awful, I'm not gonna lie. 59 seconds now. In the past, to bring it in 50 and less. And by the way, how's my Enderman? They're the biggest trolls. Every time, for a split second, you see gold, you're like, the chat hasn't loaded, you have a split second of hope. And he trolls you. Like, it's fitting the fact what it is April Fool's is recording this, but still. The game doesn't need to troll me all the time. Let's go to the conclusion now. Right, now it's time for the conclusion. So, there's going to be different aspects of this. You might disagree with what I say, you might agree. If you want to say anything different, let me know in the comments or in my Discord you pick. To prefer my Discord is easier. So starting off with the hype, very good, of course. Overall the better weapon. However, the price is just too high for most people. So my overall recommendation is, if you know you're only going to be doing F6, F7, and you might want to do E-Man after E-Man 7 anyway, or you know you're not even going to touch E-Man until you have a hype, because you don't want to buy carries, it's all an option, then go for the hype. I won't lie to you. It's very useful. Just useful for general. You can do Diana with it, of course. You can do lots of stuff in the Nether. However, that's if you're willing to save up that money. If you're not and you want a strong weapon to Master Mode or F7 and Master Mode, a Term will do you for quite some time. And then you can just grind for a hype in the background. There's zero issue with going for a Term first. It will be a little bit harder for you to get E-Man, don't get me wrong. Without a doubt, it's possible. Term if you want to go cheaper and you want one quicker and you mainly just want to do Master Mode and some other various things what you know are Term specific. Hyperion, you want to go for that first if you know you're only going to do F6, F7 and you want to do general things outside of dungeons, because it just isn't good for Master Mode without a Term. So if you're wanting to do the Nether, and apart from, because even then Kudra, it's okay for Kudra, but you do need a Term a lot of parties when you get to tier 3, 4 Kudra, but without a doubt, hype if you're willing to save up more. You're willing to do more. You're going to do more general stuff and not just Master Mode. Term if you're going to do more Master Mode, you want it to be quicker. You want to have it quicker, and then you're willing to spend the time to E-Man. Right. Well, thanks for watching anyway. Maybe a bit longer video, not as good as normal, and I'm hoping this will never happen again. Make it better in future, and I've got hopefully a better plan of way to structure these in future. Because it's only now what I've after editing everything is redoing the outro because it was awful, by the way. I realised, but anyway. Thanks for watching if you have made it this far, and congratulate yourself for making it this far. Like if you enjoyed, sub if you're new around here, and join Discord if you want to. Giveaways and future videos announced in there. Anyway, till next time, see ya.